Some may call it the best duo in girls high school lacrosse in the state of Utah. We call it the gift that keeps on giving. The Park City Miners girls lacrosse team is not just a dynasty, but they are looking to build on that. But not just them. Dozier Field is also home to the boys lacrosse team, who has a little dynasty of their own, the returning state championship runner-ups, Miners lacrosse, and we've got it all here for you on the scoreboard. What is going on, everyone? Welcome into the scoreboard. I am your host, Brigham Harris. On this Friday episode, we have got so much to talk about, and if you are a lacrosse fan, then this is not going to be an episode that you're going to want to fast forward through. We have got so many interviews, so much content for you, news, analytics for our best lacrosse teams here in the Wasatch Back. But not just that, we're talking softball, we're talking baseball. We've got so much for you here on the scoreboard, and we are all just excited to be here and talk a little bit about it. Spring sports is here, it's upon us. We still have a couple of Olympic athletes that are going to be on our show here very soon. Also, we are going to have Troy Podmilsack, who is one of the youngest up-and-comers free skiers in the state of Utah and in the country, even in the world. And we sat down with him last week, and we're going to be chatting with him on the scoreboard in the weeks to come. So much to talk about here on the scoreboard. But for today, our Friday episode, we want to focus the most on our Park City High School lacrosse teams. And I gotta say, these are a little bit more dynasties than they are teams. We're super stoked to talk to head coach Mickey Clayton as well as head coach Mike Persky on the boys side. These are two of the most talented programs in the state of Utah, and one of these teams is even nationally ranked in the top 10. So let's talk a little bit about it. This week in sports, we got to witness a whole lot of very talented lacrosse across the board. And when we talk about Park City in general, we talk about two of the most successful programs that high school sanctioned lacrosse has ever seen. And again, only a few years since lacrosse has been sanctioned for high school in the state of Utah. But I tell you what, the Park City Miners have completely capitalized on that sanction, and they have been absolutely dominant across the state when it comes to state titles. So the girls team played their first match earlier this week against Skyridge. Blake Aurelian got to be at that game and catch up with one of Park City's star players. But not just them, the boys side also had their season opener this week against Lone Peak High School, a 6A team. So that just means a much bigger school than PCHS. And they beat them in overtime. It was an absolutely incredible game. The couple of interviews that we have don't quite do it justice, so we hope that the video that we were able to get does inform you quite well. We talk a little bit about softball, a little bit about baseball as well for Park City, but mostly we're going to be talking lacrosse for today's episode. As we move down to Wasatch High School, we are going to be talking lacrosse as well. They got their first win this week. A pretty dominant, more than 10-point victory was the Wasps, and we're actually going to go hang out with the head coach down at Heber for the boys lacrosse team later in the day today, and we'll have that interview for you next week. As for the girls softball team down at Wasatch, they are continuing to roll 7-0 on the year so far. Again, thanks to Paige Armendariz, who recorded another home run and 5 more RBIs. That means she has 24 RBIs on the season alone. She leads the state, and it's not even close. Also 7-0 thanks to 2 pitchers. That's Andrea Sweat, who's now 4-0 pitching, and Paige Armendariz, who is 3-0. So complete dominance when it comes to softball down at Wasatch High School. They definitely have a chip on their shoulder after losing in the semifinals of last year's state tournament. And you saw our interview earlier this week with Morgan Smith. Absolutely star-studded program, and they have got a lot of work to do this year because they definitely have got very lofty goals and some exciting talent coming up in that program. Let's move down to South Summit High School in Camas. Let's talk a little bit about the softball team. They headed down to St. George to play in a tournament down there, and they unfortunately dropped a game to Dixie High School, a very tough opponent, larger school as well than what the 3A, just recent 3A South Summit Wildcats are used to facing. However, Indy Jones and the rest of the team, led by head coach Cody Bowen, they held in. It was not a blowout by any means. However, they did drop that game, and they've got a couple of opponents from out of state that they're going to be playing before we do get into region play here. And again, this was a pretty weird week because of spring break. A lot of Wasatch teams were completely not scheduled for this week, and so boys soccer had a whole week off. We saw the baseball team take a whole week off. Softball was really the only team that competed during the spring break. So other than that, a handful of our schools did still have some competition this week. North Summit boys soccer did drop their first game. Again, it was a very tough match. They ended up playing against APA Draper and dropping a 16-0 goal differential loss. So North Summit is really starting to try to pick up the pieces, but there's a lot more sports to get excited about. We chatted with David Peck, the head coach for the North Summit boys and girls track and field team, and they are 25 state championships deep, and Coach Peck is looking for even more. So we're going to keep our eyes peeled, especially when it comes to track season on North Summit as well as Park City, and even Wasatch and South Summit have some very talented runners, jumpers, and throwers as well. So we're super stoked, as we mentioned, for all the spring sports here in our area in the Wasatch Back. Our four schools are really exciting to watch. That be it boys soccer, we have a returning state champion. Girls lacrosse, we have a returning state champion in Park City. And we have state championship runner-ups, state semifinalists, leading hitters in the state, leading pitchers in the state. Just so much talent across the board, and we are all so excited for it. So that is it for this week in sports. When we come back from the break, we are going to be chatting with one of the star players at the Park City girls lacrosse team, again, coached by head coach Mickey Clayton, and we are going to be chatting with them after their 17-4 victory over Skyridge. So you're not going to want to miss any of it. Stick around. The Scoreboard is going to be right back right after this.
The Scoreboard is proudly sponsored by Andrea Cox Mortgage. Welcome to First Rate Mortgage.
My name's James, and I've been in the market for mortgages several times over the years, so I've gone through the process with different people. And when I met Andrea, she explained to me why my current loans were subpar and how she could get better loans with better rates.
If I had to describe Andrea in one word, I think I would use the word passionate. She is very passionate about what she does and getting the right solutions for her clients, and that made her an absolute pleasure to work with.
Hi, I'm Andrea Cox. You can reach me at 435-631-9262. Call me, text me, or you can reach me at my website, andreacoxmortgage.com.
17-4 victory. That is how the Park City Miners girls lacrosse team started off their 2022 spring season campaign. And again, keep in mind, these Miners are the returning state champions for girls lacrosse in the state of Utah. Welcome back into the Scoreboard. I'm your host, Brigham Harris, and that is exactly what we are going to be talking about. Girls lacrosse in the state of Utah and the sheer dominance of PCHS Miners girl team, again, headed by Mickey Clayton. But it's not just her, it's not just the head coach. They have so much talent. A sophomore as well as a senior combined for a handful of goals against Skyridge just the other night. And Blake O'Rulian got to catch up with one of their star players in Samantha Riley. Let's send it over to Blake.
Hey everyone, Blake O'Rulian alongside Park City Girls Lacrosse senior Samantha Riley. Samantha, you just came off of a 17-4 win over Skyridge. They scored within the first minute or so. And what did the team say once that first goal was scored and it seemed like, oh shoot, like what's going on here?
Yeah, we honestly play with the motto 0-0, so we just go with 0-0 game the whole time, and no matter what the score is, we're playing our heart out and just trying to get every ground ball, even if we drop the ball. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, on top of that, you also had a couple of other great players. As great as you played, you had Ava Kimchi. She played very, very well as well. What has it been like playing with her for these years?
Oh, it's been so amazing. I've played with Ava since, I don't know, like the beginning of high school, and I go out on the field and shoot on her all the time. So it's unfortunate that she knows every one of my shots, but in a game it really helps out.
Yeah, your team seems to be very, very already dialed in. Do you think that this team might even be better than last year's team?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of potential. We have a lot of young players. We have 6 freshmen on the team, so I'm really looking forward to playing with them and getting to know the new freshmen and the new younger team because that's the future. So.
As a senior, as you are kind of one of the leaders of this team, do you feel kind of a motivation to lead them? Not only, it seemed like you led them a lot on the offensive side, almost like you were like the quarterback or a point guard in basketball. Do you feel like you kind of run the offense through your own game?
Yeah, so I feel like that we need to be like calm with the ball, and I'm really good at like calming down the offense. So I take that into charge, but honestly, I let them play. Like once they get the fast break, it's there. They get it all the time. I trust them to know what to do with the ball all the time, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of the season. So.
There's a couple of really, really great players on this team. There was one, her name is Charlie, I believe, number 6, and it seemed like you two were just a 1-2 combo the entire time. Have you always had really good chemistry with her?
Well, she actually played against me in the state championship last year, and she's always played against me. She's a sophomore, but we're really good friends, so we're really excited to play with each other this year, and honestly, those assists were I really felt those. It really was nice to get those to her.
Samantha, you last year averaged 3 goals per game. Today you hit at least 3, if not 4, if I can remember. You had a ton of assists. You were saying before we turned on the camera, what did your dad say to you before this season started?
My dad said that since I had an even amount of assists and goals, to maybe cut out the assists and score some more goals. But I really love assisting, and I really love giving it to my teammates and spreading the joy. So.
Did you see anything specifically out of the defense or offense that you would like to maybe take care of? We talked to the boys team just yesterday. They said specifically that they think their offense needs to pick up to their defense. Do you think that there's any sort of space in talent here on this team, be it the defensive or offensive side?
I think we need to work on our defense and stopping the whistles and all that. So I think you saw all the whistles and a ton of from me. I got a yellow card. We got a few yellow cards. We're improving on that, but I think that's a big area for improvement. And on the offensive end, honestly, just being smarter with the ball and looking for those good passes, but not too tight.
You are a playmaker. You're very, very knowledgeable of the game. It's very clear of that. How long have you played?
I've played since 3rd grade. I played club since 3rd grade, so I play lacrosse year-round. Except for winter, I play basketball, and that's about it. But it translates right back into lacrosse, so that really helps.
Well, the basketball team didn't do as well this season, but you are now on a defending state championship team. I kind of asked this earlier, but what is your prediction for this season, considering how good this team looked today as the season goes forward?
Well, like I said, there's a lot of new, young, little kids on the team, so we got to get those knots figured out, and we'll see. I really think there's a lot of potential.
Well, Samantha, you are incredible. We can't wait to keep covering the sport, so thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, again, we remind you, 17-4 win over Skyridge. That is how Park City started off their 2022 campaign. They got a handful of games here in the next couple of days, and we will make sure to keep you updated on those scores and schedules right here on the scoreboard. Now, when we come back, we are going to be talking more lacrosse, but this time we're going to head over to Dozier Field, give you a recap of the Park City boys versus the 6A Mountain Lone Peak when we come back.
Hi, I'm Jim Bisley, owner of Park City Rental Properties. For over 20 years, we've helped homeowners manage, market, and rent their properties in the Park City area. We have over 250,000 repeat guests and social media followers. Plus, our websites are ranked #1 for thousands of internet searches. This brings loyal guests back year after year, and your properties are easily found online. Our local team of experts is here and ready to help. Let us prepare a detailed rental performance analysis for your home that shows its true rental income potential.
Hey everyone, welcome back into the Scoreboard. I'm your host, Brigham Harris. On this Friday episode, we are talking lacrosse, and a little bit more lacrosse. We got through talking about what things we may have missed when it comes to softball and baseball, but this week, spring break, a little bit of a goofy week, but that just gives us more and more time to focus on our state champion returning girls lacrosse team at Park City High School, as well as state runner-ups for the boys team over at PCHS. Now this time, we are going to stick to Dozier Field, their home game, their first home game, that being the boys team over at PCHS Minors Lacrosse. What an incredible game. Blake and I both got to go attend this game, and I got to tell you, start to finish, the energy was so high. There was so much anticipation for this game because not only did Park City face off against one of the best teams in the state, it was a 6A school, that in Lone Peak. You may have heard of them, one of the most dominant schools when it comes to sports across the board in the state. So after an incredible back and forth game, headed into overtime, and needless to say, Park City comes out with the win. This is Blake O'Rulian catching up with Johnny Trahan, not just one of the leaders, one of the seniors on this team, but the game-winning goal scorer. And that's right, we've got all that for you in this interview, so let's send it over to Blake.
Hey everyone, we are here with the Park City hero right now, John Trahan. John, you just scored a game winner. How do you feel right now?
Well, I'm pretty excited. I mean, it's definitely a team effort, and I came out there, in the overtime, and I'm really excited I could do it for my team, but in turn, it's a team game. I'm stoked for all of us.
Can you kind of walk us through that last sequence right there?
Yeah, so, I mean, they scored with 4 seconds left in regulation. I get out there in overtime. Definitely, a little nervous. Definitely had some butterflies in my stomach. But once I saw my matchup, I was one of the 2 guys up top. I ran down looking for someone to come, another guy to play defense on me, and no one went. So I went right to the cage and scored. Bounce shot, low to high. I made it work. I'm stoked. I'm really happy about it.
Have you ever scored a game winner before? And if so, where does this rank amongst those greatest moments in your lacrosse career?
Well, this is actually my first game winner in high school ball. I play a lot of club ball, and I've actually won a few tournaments, like on a game winner, I think 1 or 2. But I think this one's pretty cool because, I'm supporting my high school right here. And, I spend 8 hours here every day. So it was really exciting to do it for my team, especially as a senior.
Well, yeah, you're a senior. It's the season opener. You are playing against a big 6A school, a team that was tough last year as well. To get, and also, they had an insane comeback. 2 goals in about a minute and a half, right?
That number 6 kid he's really good. When they came back, I was like, ugh, we got to do this again. So when I got up there, and the same thing happened last year in the I think it was the quarterfinals last year. Or maybe the first round. This exact same thing happened with Lone Peak, and I was getting deja vu about last year. So I was like, this time we're doing it again. We're winning again in overtime. I don't care. We're doing this, and I'm glad I was the one that got to do it. But
yeah, you kind of talked us through the sequence a little bit. But did you know you were going to be taking the shot, or did you think it might have been someone else?
What I was planning on is I saw my matchup, and I knew I wanted to start the offense with that matchup. So I was running down, and I was looking for something to happen, someone else to be open. But it turns out no one came to me, so I was the one that was open. No, I did not expect to score there, but I was expecting to start it. I did see my matchup, yeah.
Well, very much so impressive and very exciting. How did you feel the team overall did? I just talked to Chase Beyer. He said that he would like to see the offense tune up a little bit, learn how to play a little bit more as a team. You've played with Chase, being that you're a senior. What would you like to see this team learn or start to gain in terms of attributes?
So first off, I'm really happy with the defense. I played a little bit of defense today as a midfielder, but mostly on the offensive side, yeah, we could work on the teamwork aspect a little bit. There are a lot of new faces coming in. Chase and I were actually one of the only people that were in the common rotation last year, so it is really, really good to see some new faces. But, with Corner Canyon coming up on Friday, we do have to get that teamwork going on Wednesday and Thursday and, just bond as a team because we are going to have to work really well as a team on Friday and throughout the year.
Well, congratulations. Yeah. Thank you so much for talking, and good luck for the rest of the season. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah, just 1 or 2 tournaments won by game-winning goals. Well, hey, Johnny Trahan gets to add this to the resume, his first high school game winner, and it was an absolute stunner of a goal. Blake and I, even everyone here at Park City TV, we cannot stop talking about how impressive of that game and that finish absolutely was. So we're looking forward to watching Park City take on Corner Canyon. That is tonight in Draper, one of the most anticipated lacrosse games that you could ask for. This is a state championship rematch, and just 2 games into the season, my goodness, we are definitely going to have to take as much goodies as we can to keep our blood sugar high, because there is going to be no shortage of excitement at Draper tonight. So we'll have that for you next week on the Scoreboard, updated scores, schedules, and the highlights from that game in Draper. But don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're talking more lacrosse with PCHS. We're going to be talking with Chase Beyer, the captain, one of the standouts for this team. And guess what? He's also the quarterback for Park City High School Miners football team. So all that's coming up next. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Take advantage of the amazing mountain access right from your front door. Apex Plaza offers impeccable amenities and unparalleled mountain access. I'm Stephanie J. This is the Opulent Minute. featuring a contemporary designed great room and gourmet kitchen that open to an expansive terrace. I'm here with Crystal, owner of Guardian Angels Babysitting, Inc. Tell us a little bit about the services you offer.
Yeah, we offer luxury baby gear rental and babysitting and the commodities of home on your vacation.
To book Guardian Angels, visit opulentvacations.com. The high-end amenities at Apex Plaza will entertain everyone. Enjoy soaking in your private hot tub or lounge by this 50-foot pool. The clubhouse game room will provide hours of fun for the whole family. With unbelievable ski and mountain bike access, there's something for everyone. You'll make unforgettable memories in this mountain retreat. Thanks for watching the Opulent Minute. Contact us today, opulentvacations.com.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back into the Scoreboard. I'm your host, Brigham Harris, for this Friday episode. Man, we have covered so much lacrosse today. We got to catch up with Samantha Riley over at the Park City girls team. We also got to catch up with John Trahan, the game winner for the boys team at PCHS. And this time we are sticking with Dozier Field, but we are passing the mic over to a team captain and an absolute leader on this team. He wears number 23, and for a good reason. Blake Aurelian is catching up with Chase Byer with Park City Lacrosse.
Guys, I'm here with Park City junior Chase Byer. Chase, you guys just had a great game, great season opener, a little closer than you guys probably hoped for it to be. How do you feel right now?
Pretty good. Obviously stoked on the win, but we definitely have some work to do. Definitely not as clean as we wanted to come out here, but I mean, you won the game, so that's what we came away with, so just happy about that.
Yeah, what are some of the things specifically that you'd like this team to improve on as a captain, as one of the best players on this team?
Yeah, so obviously the D pulled through. I think we're just getting into it, a little confusing. We just gotta simplify things and just kind of everyone do their own job, and if everyone's doing what they're supposed to do, it should work out the way we want. But just playing the way in games that we play in practice, just like we do every day out here, we just gotta continue that into games.
You are very much so a leader on this team, be it through your play, be it through the fact that you are very vocal on the field. How much do you think this team needs you?
Yeah, so I just think every team needs a leader. As myself, whether it's me or someone else, I think it's definitely important for people to look up to. And as being older, it's just kind of the responsibility that being older comes with. Just young guys looking up to old guys. So, I mean, I would say it's a substantial part, but not just in myself, with all the old guys, the guys who have been around the block. So
you've played a lot of varsity minutes, obviously one of the best offensive players last year. Again today, you had a ton of assists, you played great. In terms of what you guys are looking forward to, you got a big game against Corner Canyon. What are you looking forward to in terms of that game?
I think we're just trying to implement what we do in practice on the field. It was a little sloppy, a little sloppier than we hoped, so just really fine-tuning our motions, our offense, and just kind of cleaning up some silly mistakes like clears and errant passes. So yeah, just cleaning up stuff and playing like we do in practice, I think, is just the biggest thing.
In terms of the D, you said that the defense did very well today, which they did. What did you specifically like seeing out of Keller, out of Tanner, people like them?
Yeah, I just think that having young guys being vocal, and they were talking a lot, and slides were good, slides were there, slides were early, we were covering, and just kind of everything working the way we do in practice, and everything kind of coming together with the talk and all the young guys stepping up was big for us.
As the game came down to the wire, they scored 2 goals very quickly. What was the team talking about once that second goal was scored?
I mean, it didn't feel like anyone was kind of freaked out by it. It was just kind of like, all right, here we go, buckle up, boys. Like, time to go, time to win this.
What were people saying right before the goal was about to be scored? There was a timeout and things like that. What was being said?
So we kind of set up a time, or we called a timeout to set up our ride. And they cleared the ball, which was a crazy clear, and he got past one of our guys and just took a shot, went in. And so I think we were just talking about setting up our clear and just kind of finding it late in the game, finding that will to finish the game.
1-0 right now, 17-3 last year. Very excited for you. Chase, thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it.
An overtime win over a 6A massive school, incredible team in Lone Peak is an absolute perfect way to start the season. We wish 2022 the best of luck to the Park City both boys and girls lacrosse teams, as one of them is a defending state champ, the other one is a state champ runner-up. So much talent when it comes to lacrosse just out of this small area. And we've got more lacrosse for you next week. Again, just a reminder, Park City Miners boys lacrosse team is facing off against the state champions, Corner Canyon. This is going to be the revenge game of the century, and we are going to have all of that for you next week on the Scoreboard. But don't go anywhere. We still got one segment to go, so we'll be right back right here on the Scoreboard.
Hi guys, I'm Janet the Dairy King. We're famous here for our ice cream. We have 84 different kinds of shapes. We also have some amazing food. So come and try our chicken strips, our fish and chips dinners, our burgers, our fries, our sweet potato fries. Oh my gosh, we've got so much. Once you go over to the Heber Valley Railroad and ride their train, then of course you have to come here and see all of our trains. Our family's serving your family since 1946. We hope to see you soon here at the Dairy King.
Hello everyone, welcome back into the Scoreboard. I'm your host, Brigham Harris. Now today on this Friday episode, we got to catch up with some of the top talent for the entire state of Utah when it comes to the game of lacrosse. We got to catch up with Samantha Riley for the girls team, also Chase Byer, a captain, and John Trahan, one of the seniors and leaders for the Park City High School boys lacrosse team. Just want to give you a reminder, tonight is the night at Corner Canyon High School in Draper. We are going to see the PC Miners boys lacrosse team, the state runner-ups, against the defending state champions in Corner Canyon. It's going to be an absolute fantastic game, and Blake and I are both going to be there. We're going to have highlights for you guys, analysis of the game, interviews with players. It's going to be an absolute amazing game, and we are so stoked to have that for you next week on the Scoreboard. Anytime you want to watch, go to thescoreboardnation.com. That's how you can watch online any old episode, any current episode, or any old interview. Or you can tune in on PCTV. That's every Tuesday and Friday at 6 and 10 p.m. Other than that, you can catch us on Instagram at Scoreboard Nation. We love corresponding with all you guys, talking a little bit about high school sports here in the Wasatch Back, as we have some of the most talented teams in the state of Utah. So that'll do it for the Scoreboard today, this Friday episode. Again, I'm Brigham Harris, and we will see you on the next one.